Tzu Chi volunteers help a community in Zimbabwe repair a well they have long relied on. A man donates his family's bamboo shoes to Tzu Chi for a charity sale, hoping to give back to society. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Margaret Lin. Thank you for joining us. Many places in Zimbabwe were in serious shortage of water, causing many wells that local residents had long relied on to lack water. Besides providing building materials, Tzu Chi volunteers also invited local volunteers and residents to help repair their walls.
A borehole, to put it simply, is well for underground water. In the Apple community of Zimbabwe, more than 30,000 households rely on 2 boreholes for water, which are definitely not enough.
There are farmers who have fields for farming vegetables but no water to irrigate. Hence, there is no way for them to be self-sufficient. They can only go to the markets to buy food, but only in a very small portions, which is not even enough to feed a person.
Coupled with years of disrepair, the boreholes cannot even pump water now. Tzu Chi volunteers brought water pipes and building materials to the community, and with the assistance of many local volunteers, a borehole repairing project began. Patricia, who brings along with her baby, insists on her participation.
I have dedicated myself to work, even if I have to carry my child doing the work. I can't leave him at home because no one to take care of him when I come to work. Also, I feel that whenever people are working, I should also take part.
Not only local volunteers, but also the local residents are deeply touched. Under the scorching sun, many people work together efficiently with the same wish. When water comes out, everyone cheers happily.
We are living a very difficult life. We are suffering from no water and no food. So we really thank you for fixing the boreholes.
ndochikuru chandinokurudzira ichocho kuti pawanonawo pane mvura ngavaedze kuchengetedzawo mvura nokuti mvura upenyu.
An Indonesian Tzu Chi volunteer used to be addicted to cigarettes and alcohol, and he went to nightclubs every day. His bad temper also led to frequent quarrels with his family. It was until 2009, when he joined Tzu Chi, that he started to change for the better.
On the regular Community Environmental Protection Day, Supadi Wee, who was busy setting up the venue, invited other residents to participate in the activity. Having a good relationship with other people, he looks quite different from the past, in which he always smoked and drank alcohol.
I used to smoke a lot. As long as there was a new type of cigarette, I would buy it and try. I even gargled with alcoholic drinks every morning.
Owning a ship repair factory, he often went to nightclubs every day to entertain his customers. This kind of abnormal life made his family unhappy, causing frequent quarrels at home. It was a poster of Tzu Chi volunteers enrollment that changed his life. He has started training and abide by the Tzu Chi 10 precepts.
In Dharma Master Zhen Yan's morning Buddhist teachings, she mentioned that people like us were just like the children playing in a firehouse and did not know it was dangerous. The Master teaches us just like the way our parents do.
His participation in Tzu Chi also influences his friends around, especially his son.
My father has changed a lot, especially after serving as the person in charge of activities. He has a better control of his temper and is happier now.
Now, he is a good father and good husband in the eyes of everyone, as he has become different from the past.
In the Philippines, Tzu Chi has long been providing free medical services at the Tzu Chi Eye Center to help patients restore their vision. After receiving medical treatment, many patients came back to the center to contribute their share, hoping to help other less fortunate people. Although many impoverished people in Manila suffer from cataracts, many of them who came to seek medical help at the Tzu Chi Eye Center are willing to carry out the act of giving.
Though I also need help, I can make some donation to help other less fortunate people.
The love in this bamboo coin bag does not only come from me, but also from my children, grandchildren, and neighbors.
Tzu Chi opens your heart, especially when you see those who are suffering. So we do what we can to help.
Carmencita specially brought a famous snack in Quezon City to be given to the volunteers.
This is how I express my gratitude to the volunteers because they are really very kind.
After receiving help from Tzu Chi, the patients have not only regained their vision, but have also opened their hearts and shared happiness with others. Tzu Chi volunteers in Changsha visit seniors to care for them once a month. As the monthly visits, many young people go along with their family to provide volunteer services. I'm quite blessed because my grandma is so healthy. Some of the old people here have mobility issues. They need to sit in the wheelchairs and require people to move them around. So my grandmother is really very healthy. I need to treat her better.
The grandmother to whom Tian Ziyan is talking about is actually not her own grandmother. Since she often fell ill in her childhood, she was abandoned by her family. Chen Shuifeng, who is a kind but impoverished lady, adopted her. Later, Tian Ziyan met Tzu Chi by chance and continued her study with the help of Tzu Chi volunteers.
Tzu Chi is very good. Tzu Chi's sisters are very considerate. It is the first time for me to join the activity to care for the elderly, and I'm deeply impressed by this. I will continue to do this.
Tzu Chi volunteers go to Changsha once a month to care for the elderly. They help to give massage, cut nails, take shower, and lead games for the elderly. Liu Sijie followed her mother to volunteer, making the elderly home full of laughter.
My mother often teaches me Tzu Chi humanistic spirits at home. She tells me to help the people around me and do more good deeds.
Through personal dedication, young people have enriched their long summer vacations, bringing joy to the elderly and enriching their own lives.
Studies show that 3 out of 10 women over the age of 50 have the problem of urinary incontinence. Doctors remind them to seek medical treatment as soon as possible, as this medical problem can be solved and prevented in the early stage.
Many women often have frequent urination and urinary incontinence as they age, seriously affecting the quality of life.
If I exert a little strength or cough, my urine will leak, causing me troubles.
The hormone level usually decreases in women after menopause, making their urinary tract and vaginal mucosa become thinner. Also, they do not take good care of their pelvic floor muscles after pregnancy, and they are often too shy to seek medical attention.
Feeling too embarrassed to seek medical treatment, some women will bear it. Yet, this will lead to other problems, like isolating themselves from the crowd and unwillingness to go out.
The pelvis is a key factor causing urinary incontinence in women. Since the pelvic cavity is supported by pelvic floor muscles, if the muscles become loose, the pelvic cavity will get prolapsed easily, and then urinary incontinence happens. Doctors suggest that women receive treatment at a pelvic special health clinic in an initial stage.
The patient can do something like physiological feedback through vaginal electrical stimulation or magnetic wave instrument. This will help to strengthen her pelvic muscles, allowing her to urinate smoothly.
The public can also try Kino exercise. By swaying with the assistance of an elastic ball, the women can strengthen their muscles under the urethra and bladders through pelvic compression and relaxation.
If the situation does not improve after doing it for 2 or 3 days, you should seek medical treatment as soon as possible. Maybe you need individual guidance, just like some people with allergies, sneezing or coughing, etc. The pelvis needs to be well protected. You must firstly shrink your muscles before sneezing or coughing. Then the pelvis may not be prolapsed.
Experts remind the public to drink enough water, go to the toilets regularly without holding urine, maintain good living habits, and exercise regularly. Urinary incontinence can be prevented as it is definitely not a fate of the elderly.
In Taipei's Shilin district, Tzu Chi volunteer Li Ruiyu has formed many good affinities through her trade as a hairdresser. One such customer is an elderly woman who has mobility issues, but she passed away last year. Despite this, the connection continues as the customer's son asks Li to help on doing the charity sale.
It's labor-intensive harvesting bamboo shoots, but they do it. This kind of bamboo is the best, pretty and delicious.
1. Curved top. 2. Hefty. 3. White in color. These 3 principles and you are set.
The third brother would carry the grandmother because my hair salon is on the upper levels, so he would push the wheelchair to the door and then carry her up the stairs to get her hair washed and styled. The grandmother was not able to walk on her own, so the third brother would carry her without complaint. Bamboo harvesting is labor-intensive work. There must be people here to help bring down the bamboo. It's so tiring that it makes me want to lie down. It is so heavy, but I must take a trip down the mountain first because an organic store ordered 30 caddies today.
During peak harvest, we free pack it tightly, then each bag can contain up to 3 kilograms.
The average ones are 120 NT dollars, and the nicer ones are 150. With everyone working together to bring this project to fruition, it brings joy to everyone. Every time I have a car full of bamboo, I am filled with gratitude while thinking of ways to quickly sell it out. When you eat this, you will experience 3 types of joy. Joy from those who donated the bamboo, your own, and joy of those who you helped. Look at how fortunate you are. After I posted a notice on the internet, many people come from afar, like Danshui, to buy from me. I think this is the power of the Taiwanese people. Some who purchase bamboo from me become my member afterwards.
In the aftermath of Kaohsiung gas explosions, Tzu Chi volunteers from all over Taiwan came to disaster areas to help. In our next report, we hear about the stories of 2 of the volunteers. The truck carrying lunchboxes traversed in the gas explosion-affected areas. Wu Kunchen distributed nearly 30,000 lunchboxes within 31 days. In 2006, he joined Tzu Chi because of his wife's invitation. He was always happy to volunteer, but at the end of last year, he passed away due to colorectal cancer. Back then, his daughter received Tzu Chi certificates from Dhamma Master Zhen Yan on his behalf, fulfilling his wish. Overcoming the sorrow of losing her husband, Wu Kunten's wife often brings her daughter to volunteer in the community because she knows this is her husband's wish.
Because he asked me not to feel sad for so long and continue to volunteer with Tzu Chi.
Besides accompanying her mother on behalf of her father, Wu's daughter has also realized the significance of giving.
I used to take volunteering lightly, and while I would be doing a task, my mind would be on something else. Now I'm focused on my tasks, such as cutting vegetables and sorting recyclables properly.
Wu's daughter works in Taipei. Her company permits her to work at home 1 week a month, allowing her to spend more time with her mother. Wu Kunten was praised for his devotion to those affected by the explosions. He was always a role model to his wife.
他在送便当的时候，然后他们很感恩师兄的付出，因为天天看到他吧，然后就很感动，就说啊，他们要捐钱这样子，就慈济只要有活动，我们就是。
As long as there was a Tzu Chi activity, we usually attend it together. After his passing, Master Zheng Yan told me that I'm volunteering for 2 people now. That is, I have to continue to improve myself.
"64-year-old Liu Xixin and his wife have been certified as Tzu Chi volunteers for nearly 20 years. They visit solitary seniors in the community in person. Liu Xixin always felt happy to help those affected by the explosions, even though his forehead was covered with herpes zoster. He was later convinced to go to hospital.
We distributed hot meals every day, and we also evaluated each individual's situation. Sometimes when there was a lack of manpower, it might affect my nerves and even my eyes. Dr. Jian Ruiteng said if I did not receive treatment, it would hurt my optic nerve.
Although it was very serious, thankfully he was fine. I always think that we have to cultivate blessings, just like the master said.
As soon as Liu Xixin was discharged from hospital, he returned to his volunteer position immediately.
When I was hospitalized, they came to care for us every day. We feel blessed to volunteer with Tzu Chi, not because we have great virtue, but it's because we have received everyone's care. I will continue to walk the Tzu Chi path and contribute my share.
Despite the ruthless nature of disasters, everyone bonds with each other with love. After experiencing the difficult period of life and death, Liu Xixin is more determined to walk the Tzu Chi path. This year marks the 10th anniversary of Typhoon Morakot. The DaAi village in Shanling, Kaohsiung that Tzu Chi built for typhoon survivors has now become a demonstration area. Recently, the Council of Indigenous Peoples held a conference with scholars on how to prevent disasters. From the September 21st earthquake to Typhoon Morakot, the disaster prevention seminar clearly shows Tzu Chi's 6 relief plans for disaster survivors.
After Typhoon Morakot, we noticed the mountains had been badly damaged, so Tzu Chi carried out some work for people's safety. We also respect the culture of survivors very much.
At the DaAi village, I saw a phenomenon, which is different races bonding together, and their children interact with each other well.
From the past 10 years, the Shanling DaAi village has been working on education and racial harmony. People need to learn and pass down experiences from disaster and reconstruction.
From your different positions, you should propose ideas and issues related to reconstruction and also review them.
It wasn't easy to help people stay away from the disaster area, but not their town. and to rebuild homes first before helping them find work. When people from abroad came to see this, they felt it was a very good model.
When the governments and the private sectors can work together, they can build a better model for disaster prevention and relief work, so people can be well prepared for every disaster. A teacher at the Kedah Tzu Chi kindergarten in Malaysia used different ways to persuade children to go vegetarian. While educating the children about the benefits of a meatless diet, she has also become a vegetarian.
不喜欢吃菜，因为那个菜很苦。
I didn't know what the vegetable planet was, and I ate a lot of meat.
Children should have balanced diet, but they do not like vegetables. This is a headache to adults.
I'll say in front of them, "Whoa, this vegetable tastes so good." I'll encourage them to eat it. Until today, they eat every type of vegetable that is brought to them.
Teacher Dan told me to eat vegetables with the rice, to bind them together, so every bite can be very tasty.
Because of the demand from her job, Tan Hui-yin began to try a vegetarian diet, and over time, she has become a vegetarian too.
I encouraged the kids to eat vegetarian meals, but I realized I wasn't a vegetarian. If I wanted the kids to do it, I had to do it too. It would allow them to know that all of us practice the idea together.
Having a common goal, the bond between the teacher and the students is closer than ever.
When I was 5 years old, teacher Tan taught me what the vegetable planet was. Then I started eating vegetarian meals because they can help me grow and also protect the earth and the animals.
When I go to the vegetable planet, I eat vegetarian meals. When I return to the earth, I also eat vegetarian meals, so I won't harm animals.
I feel that when we are with the kids, it's important that we have patience and love, because we are just like their mothers. When a mother is with their children, she never feels tired. So we teachers should also accompany the children with the motherly love.
Many activities were held for the Georgetown World Heritage Day in Penang, Malaysia, allowing people to learn more about the country's multiculturalism. The Penang Tzu Chi Academy also organized a field trip for its students to visit these heritage sites. During the process, the students also learn more about history.
This class of students visits temples to learn the culture of Chinese pioneers, go to ancestral temples to learn about their ancestors and where they come from.
We discovered that the parents often have forgotten to pass down our traditional culture to our next generation while teaching their children. If this culture and tradition are not passed down further, at one point in time, it will be lost.
The Penang Tzu Chi Academy hosts a parent-child activities, where the parents and their children play a treasure hunting game for this class. It also strengthens the bonds between the parents and the children.
This parent-child event is very fascinating because it forces us to leave time to spend with our children. Besides that, it also allows them to learn where our ancestors are from and the stories related to our ancestors.
By going to the World Heritage Sites, these students also learn a valuable lesson in history.
Taichung Tzu Chi Nursing Home held a special activity to celebrate Father's Day. Children of the residents seized the chance to wash their father's feet, fulfilling their duty of filial piety. We will leave you with this. Thanks for watching.